I did nothing last night, so I'm fresh as daisy, which I think is an indirect effect of having no friends.
I think so, yeah.
What did you do last night, John?
I got several very sad Snapchats of Adam saying that he wanted to be there with sad faces.
I did want to be there.
He
it just
did.
seemed like you were happy.
We were very
happy while I was sort of sat on the sofa watching a rugby with my hands down my trousers.
We were happy, and many of Whitty's favourite people were there. So it was good fun. It was the Valentine's Ball for the Medics Valentine's Ball, which was quite the event.
What have we got coming up, Louise?
We've got, as usual, Louise's Imaginarium. Do we have? Is it called Loose
Boyfriends?
Loose Boyfriends. We've got Loose
Will
Boyfriends.
be winging its way to your
Got
ears.
John's story time.
We do.
We've got me trying not to throw up in the studio.
That's good. We got a little cup there.
I do have a little cup.
Can I have some of that water?
Yeah.
Oh yes, thank you.
Also, I was thinking, how can people get in touch with us?
Well, they can get in touch using the, what's it called? The little chat thing.
The shout box,
If you're listening online, catch us on the shout box. You can message us through Facebook. We also have Twitter. Please, someone message us on Twitter.
I was thinking a good thing to do was, I don't know if you got the email where they said that they were giving out the login details to Burst.
Yeah.
I think that we should maybe take over that today and tweet some people, maybe troll some people on.
We should definitely.
Yeah, let's troll some.
Let's get that.
Vanessa Feltz
The point
springs
is,
to mind for some reason.
Let's get like a D-list celebrity to listen to the show. Let's that be our aim for the end of the show. Get someone like Keith Chegwin to be listening by the end.
Who is? You always talk about Keith Chegwin. I have no idea who he is.
He was like a 90s television host. He used to host Cheggers Plays Pop, and then he used to do a lot of things on GMTV where he'd turn up. You know those things where they turn up to people's houses and they answer the door and they go, "Who are you?" and they go, "I've got £100,000 for you," and then they cry. You see that a lot.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Right.
We should definitely get in touch with him then.
We definitely should. So, John, what did you do last night?
Well, it was Merrick's Valentine's Ball, so we all went there. Good group of friends, nice table. And there were fireworks, and it was all very, very romantic, and then I got locked out of my own flat. So Laura and I left early because it was a really lovely evening, like a perfect evening. And so we left home. We'd been wandering around the gardens like on our own because no one else had left the building, and yet, you know, it's really beautiful up at Ashton Court, so we were just walking around. And then we got home and I realised I'd left my keys in the taxi. So I literally ran from my house to CityLink Taxis, got my keys, and then ran back. So yeah.
Where is CityLink Taxis?
Top of St Michael's Hill.
Oh, that's...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's not the longest of walks, but, you know, it's a 15-minute walk, and I ran there and back. So I was... Well, I'll read you a text that I sent Kelly, which, because just to give you an idea of quite how angry I was, I said...
You angry?
I know.
Oh, that's
so
a rare shot.
I'm going to replace
Must
a
be
certain
really
word... Yeah, I know. It takes a lot to get me cross. So to replace a word that I can't use on the radio with fudge, we'll go... here we go. I've already left, I'm afraid. I'm stood outside the fudging flat with Laura, but I've no idea where my fudging keys are, so presumably I've lost them. I've just no fudging idea where they are. And then I fudged the fudge up, and I'm so fudged off I want to fudging kill someone, but there we go. So, yeah, I dealt with it well, and Laura was actually pretty chilled. She wasn't at all annoyed by my anger.
Well, it's pretty difficult when someone's that angry. It's not, you know that getting more angry is not going to help.
I tried to pick the lock with 2 hairpins. Didn't work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was like, I can do this.
Otherwise, everyone would be burgled up and down the nation by small children with hairpins.
Don't talk about John like that.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, good one.
Well,
what did you do last night, Whitty?
I tried to plan for this show.
Did you?
I came in and obviously the equipment wasn't working, so I came back 5 minutes later and planned it from home. And then watched the rugby with, you know, not touching the genitals, but my hands were down.
I know, yeah.
And they're in a comfortable position. Girls never seem to understand how comfortable that is.
No.
I always get told off for doing that.
Or you
but,
just do the.
Well, yeah,
cupping,
exactly. You never just cut the.
Yeah.
But it's surprisingly comfortable just sticking your hands down. I don't know whether it's the warmth.
I don't know. I think it is the warmth.
But then why would you like warmth on one hand?
See, I sort of have that, but I don't put it in my crotch. But if I cross my legs, I'll put it like under my knee.
See, I like just having my hand down my trousers, like groping my bum when I'm talking to people, and then I don't realise I'm doing it until people start looking at me, sort of like, "What are you doing?" And
Wait,
then,
what?
Yeah, I like to stick just a hand down the back of my pants like that, and I just stood there talking to you. I'm not scratching or anything, although sometimes I do if I'm treating myself. But I think it's just something guys do, isn't it? I don't know.
The bum one, I don't know.
Especially if you're wearing like whatever loungewear, I don't know, or lingerie, whichever one. Both work for me.
Well, I got a Snapchat from you last night, John, that was you joining in a cappella.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was bet £1.35 by Adam Sales that I wouldn't join in the professional a cappella group there, and I said, "Can I sing with you?" And they were like, clearly didn't want me to sing with them. Let's be honest, they clearly didn't. They thought this guy's drunk. He's had a few too many. He thinks he can sing. And then they heard that I conduct Medics a cappella, which I didn't tell them was just a group of about 4 of my friends who come out of pity. So yeah, I sang with them, and it was really good. And then later on, we all sang with them because everyone got drunker.
What? So they let you? I saw you letting you join.
So it was just me and them, and then my friend Hugh joined in, and I literally ran across the dining hall to to sing with them. So we sang one of the songs that I'm doing at the moment, which is "The Longest Time" by Billy Joel. Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment. And I got shouted at by one of my choir members for not telling how we were going to do it, and she didn't believe that it was impromptu. Yeah, but there we go.
What did you have for food, John?
Well, I'm glad you've asked. It was a fish cake starter, followed by chicken wrapped in bacon with a creamy sauce with white wine for the main course, and the pudding was unfortunately profiteroles. They're not that great.
I'm not a big fan.
No,
I've got
not
to be honest. I don't like putting creamy balls in my mouth.
Louise,
what did you do last night?
Louise,
I went to a friend's house party, which was really good because they had one room where they had mattress floor, which is pretty much self-explanatory. The entire floor was mattress and cushions.
That's cool.
I spent a lot of time there until. I should say first, disclaimer, Dylan, I'm not angry at you, I'm just telling the story. But I was just minding my business, chilling, and my friend threw a bongo at my knee. Not on purpose at me, my knee happened to be in the place that it landed. So I'm in a bit of pain now.
And what have you got to do in the tomorrow?
I'm doing a pole workshop for 2 hours.
That's right.
Hopefully it will be okay by then. Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, but otherwise the house party was really good, but I went to bed at 5, so...
See,
yeah.
and our nights collided very briefly when I called her to ask if she knew how to pick a lock. Turns out she doesn't.
No.
And I called George Howlett to ask him, and he was I called George Howlett. He's a man, he knows how to pick locks.
He doesn't really.
Yes, he does. Well, he's got a kid. Anyway, or maybe he doesn't if the police are listening. But anyway, I asked him, like, do you know how to pick a lock with a hairpin? And he was like, we looked on YouTube, and I was just like, oh yeah. So looked on YouTube on how to pick a lock with a hairpin, and the guy's like, here's a hairpin, and then he gets out like 6 other pieces of expensive. Like, no, that's with a hairpin and a lock picking kit. So that was
TNT.
And months of experience and whatnot. Yeah.
Right, well, I think it's time to play our first song.
Yeah.
I dumped it last week, but it's back on.
No, it's not Keen, is it?
It's not Keen.
Okay.
No, it's Florence and the Machine with a cheeky bit of a Calvin Harris remix, which I'm looking forward to. So shall
Excellent.
I play it or?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Hey John, what radio station are we on?
We're on Burst Radio, and this is Cry Hard 3.
Great. Yeah! Florence and the Machine! With a little fiddle from Calvin Harris. This is Cry Hard 3 on Burst Radio with Adam Whitty, Louise Sellers and John Smallwood.
Welcome back.
It is 11 minutes past 1 on Saturday, and we're hijacking the Burst Twitter. What have you put up, John?
Are you listening to Cry Hard 3? If not, why the hell not? Listen, it's Amazeballs.
Yes, I like it.
I do like Amazeballs.
Change Amazeballs to It's Like Brian Blessed's Wet Dream or something.
Is that how we want to be described?
I think so.
Well,
Okay.
people will be curious, you know, they'll be like, what is Brian Blessed's Wet Dream like? Well, they'll find out if they tune in. But you already know that, don't you? One listener.
It's time for...
Hello
let's just
to
move
you.
on quickly. It's time for our flagship
I don't know. Feature.
feature, yes.
Yeah.
And what is that, Louise?
It's Louise's Imaginarium.
Oh, wonderful.
I forgot to put It's Like Brian Blessed's Wet Dream, so it just says, it's Brian Blessed's Wet Dream. Oh,
Right, would you like to hear the little jingle?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. This is Louise's Imaginarium.
Oh, Louise, what have you thought of this time? It's Louise's Imaginarium.
And I've got the right music this time.
You do.
Oh, yes.
You're on top form today, unlike some of us.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Louise's Imaginarium, a place of wonder, mystery, and half-baked ideas. I'm doing well. Okay, first up, I've got a couple of TV show ideas today. First one is, you know the TV show Who Do You Think You Are?
Yeah.
Where they take, well-respected celebrities and find out that their grandmother died in the Holocaust and other upsetting tales. This would be a little bit different. It's called Why Do You Think You Are?
Ah.
So sort of like an existential journey where we take maybe sort of slightly more mediocre celebrities, and then make them have a very long, hard think about their
That's
very
amazing.
existence.
So they just look in the mirror for an hour. The idea is by the end you've destroyed their self-image.
Yeah.
Brilliant, that's a good idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
Patsy Kensit travels to China to
Why?
consider her own existence.
Why are you famous? And
Yeah.
No, seriously, why? By the end of that, they're just, yeah. For a second there, when you said, why do you think you are, I thought it was going to be like a really twisted version of who do you think you are, just with like psych patients. Like, literally, who do you think you are? Jesus, in this case. So.
X Factor winner 8, Joe McKeldry, considers Descartes while wondering why he is on Earth.
That would be
No,
amazing.
I don't know what I'm talking about, John. You don't need to pull the face.
I didn't put the face. I just was completely unsure how to follow that up. That's all.
Yeah,
a good idea,
so
though.
I quite enjoy that, and because every episode would end with them sort of crying and like in the corner, curled up in a ball in the corner, and they'll no longer be a
Just
functioning
like-
member of society.
Next week, we destroy Kim Kardashian. Meanwhile, someone else is just, crying in the background, as you say. Security guards walking around outside.
Is he going to come in?
I think he's going to come in.
What's he doing?
John, this is going out live, yeah?
Yeah.
I can take him.
Okay.
If you get the leg, I'll go, oh, he's gone in there.
Yep.
Yeah, moving
anyway,
on.
moving on. So next idea, another TV show, a better version of Big Brother, where instead of idiots, they bring in lots of intelligent people and academics, and the challenges are to solve world problems or invent things, and they're not allowed to leave until they've achieved something. And it would be narrated by David Attenborough.
Wow. That's a very, very, very good idea.
You'd make it sound voluntary,
So-
like they chose to go on the show
Yeah, sure.
when
And so
really
you're
they're
saying
being held captive.
is it the greatest minds of our society?
Yes, yeah.
It could be, because that'd be amazing.
But you see, surely the problem would be that those greatest minds are just as arrogant as the stupid people that go in Big Brother in the first place, so they're just going to argue as much, but
Yeah.
just it'll be slightly more intelligible.
Yeah. Well, no, but the point is, if they ever want to leave, they're going to have to come up with solutions to the big problems in the world.
So what, like this week it's cancer. And then, like, they've just got to find a cure for that. And then one of them can go out. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, no, but we're getting David Attenborough. Although I do like if the Geordie guy just hangs
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
With,
David Attenborough and Professor Brian Cox are debating the cancer, solving cancer.
What I'd love is Stephen Hawking to be in there as well. Do you know what I mean? You
He
son.
could be the voice of Big Brother.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to do his voice.
How would that go? We're going to do the thing with
maybe we don't go there.
Why, Louise?
No, stop it.
What is wrong?
Stop it. Stop it. This is not PC in any. No.
Oh, okay.
Go on, just carry on.
This is quality radio.
Right. Okay.
Day 4 in
stop it.
Big Brother house.
Oh, this is worse than like Radio 1 after the Brits, where they're all still drunk. Oh,
God, they were so drunk, weren't they?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Did you see Alex Turner, the lead singer of the Arctic Monkeys?
He's a complete word I can't use.
Tool.
He thinks he's amazing.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
When he dropped that microphone, it was meant to look cool. It just looked like a 4-year-old throwing a strop.
Yeah.
What
Seriously.
happened? I missed.
They
all
won
of
2
this.
awards. Both times they looked like they'd been called up at bingo or something.
Yeah.
So they just sort of went, everyone, let's go. And then just sort of did these very strange monologues.
Which didn't go anywhere.
Which didn't go anywhere. And at one point he was talking about the cyclical nature of rock and how it will disappear into the swamp occasionally and then come up again.
I hate anything
advertise.
academic speak, anything that involves the cyclical nature, self and other, spelt with capital S and O, juxtaposition, just any of that.
Any of it.
Can't stand it.
No, I can't.
No.
But that's the kind of chat you'd be getting on this alternative
is.
Big Brother. See what I did
Except-
there? Bringing it back.
Yeah,
It would be,
yeah.
but it would be better, I think. is
Brought
the
it back full circle
Yeah.
there.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Very cyclical
Circle.
nature
yeah,
of the
we
show.
do like circles here.
Have you got another idea?
Yes, got one more. Can I have my theme tune back? Is it coming back?
Oh,
Jeez, Whitty.
Man, you're supposed to be a professional.
I prepared like 2 or 3 of these, but it ran out. Like,
Ran out. Just too much talking. Right.
There we go.
Okay, and here's a less exciting one. This is just a minor one, but they might exist. Combination earplug earphones. So say you've got noisy flatmates or you live by a main road and you want to get some sleep, but you don't want to miss your alarm in the morning. So they simultaneously block out exterior noise, but they can still play your alarm to you in the morning.
That's a very, very good idea, because that's the only reason I don't wear them on living on White Ladies Road. It's just because I don't want to miss my alarm. It means horrible sleep, though. So that's incredible. I'd invest.
Yeah, I'd like that. It's a very good idea.
They probably whack up a prototype.
Although, how would it work, though? Because don't earplugs go in your ear?
Yeah, and earphones go in your ear.
So it's just got like a speaker in it that makes
You
an
just,
alarm.
yeah, I could make you, like, give me some Play-Doh and some earphones. I could, yeah.
Why not just make earplugs that have speakers in them? They themselves are an alarm.
Yeah, but is it possible for that to
It's
work?
possible. You should patent that.
Yeah, how do I go?
They could run off watch batteries. They'd last forever.
I like how you're
This
actually
has
really
actually gone
into it.
further than any other idea.
Yeah,
I
Seriously.
like this.
Because it's only going to need to work for a few seconds every morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't like use it for music. So
Yeah. So
there we
what would
go.
you have it connected to? I mean, would it
no,
just
it
have a
wouldn't. It
little
would just be
built-in?
itself. It'd have a little clock.
Do you get a
built in.
choice in alarm then? Or
Yeah,
it's
sure.
just-
Why not? Yeah. If it has a very small internal flash memory, you could put any song you like on there and have that as your alarm.
I think what we need is that, you know, when people talk too long at Oscar ceremonies, etc., they play the music louder
And then
and
I have to
louder
stop.
until the person leaves. I think we should get that for John. Yeah, just talk
Just
again.
okay. So we'll try it out now, shall
John,
we?
tell me about further improvements you
Well,
could
just
make.
because
to
I'm
it.
really excited about the whole thing, I figured, why not keep going? Because actually, it could work really well. We're on to something, lads. I'll call Chris. He'll fix one up for us.
Thanks, John.
It could,
It's
but
alright.
he'd probably put in some features that we found unnecessary.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's for him to decide.
Instant Skype connection.
Yeah. So what we have in fact got is headphones at the end of it. We invest so much we just have headphones.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best idea you've come up with by far.
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely. That's certainly the most marketable one.
Yeah. I think
you,
we
guys.
should definitely, email someone.
Someone. John, get on it.
Dragon's Den it.
Why do I have to do it? I don't know how to email.
You've got a laptop.
It doesn't connect to the
You
internet.
don't know how to email.
This won't connect to the internet.
What?
It just won't.
Is this the same laptop where the hard drive falls out?
Oh yeah, no, it's held in by one screw. It wobbles. And the disk drive doesn't work and has fallen off. So, yeah. Of course, you can't see that, so you have to take my word for it.
Right. Well, that was Louise's Imaginarium.
Thank you for listening.
What was Louise's best idea? You're supposed to ask that question, aren't you?
Yep. But, I thought we had already established.
That's true.
Yeah. Although, I do think the other two have great potential. If anyone's listening from, say, the BBC, although I don't... Those programmes, maybe Why Do You Think You Are is BBC
Yeah.
territory, but Big Brother,
It's more like Channel 4, really, isn't it?
Big
They're
Brother,
all
yeah.
like Channel 4.
Channel 4.
Because Channel 4 just like loves celebrities.
But still the intelligent bit of Channel 4.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be on E4.
No, it wouldn't, you're right.
No offence, I love E4.
Could be on More 4. That generally does some quite intelligent stuff, isn't it?
No.
Isn't that one of those
Repeats of How I Met Your Mother and Big
That's,
Brother?
that's
E4.
E4.
More 4.
I'm more for.
Yeah.
Isn't More for one of those ones where you only find something on there? It's only on for like 2
Exactly.
hours every evening, and
It's
then
got
Yeah.
designs.
when you find it, you're actually shocked that there's something good on. Because I forget it exists most of the time.
Right, well, that was Louise's
quite a
Imaginarium.
digression. What do we have up next, Adam?
Oh, Louise, what have you thought of this time? It's Louise's Imaginarium.
Well, now it's your song, Louise.
Yay!
So
Did
do
you
wanna
find
introduce
the
it?
radio
I did find the clean
edit?
version
Thank
without
you.
swearing. So you go for it. Introduce it.
This is Thank You by Busta Rhymes featuring Q-Tip, Kanye, and who else is in it?
That.
And Lil Wayne. There we go.
There we go.
Cool.
Cry
Turn it
Out
up.
3 laying down some tracks live on Burst Radio.
The boss. And live from the vault, it's Bus a Bus. Yeah.
That was Thank You by Busta Rhymes featuring Q-Tip, Lil Wayne, and Kanye West.
Now I want to talk to you about this song, Louise,
Yeah.
because it fascinates me. In particular,
Yeah.
well, at first up, there's this bit which actually we talked over at the start, where the guy doesn't appear to know what he's talking about.
Welcome to the bank, where you deposit young money and you get cash money.
Cash money, what's that?
Cash money. Oh, see, you're not down with the kids.
But then in
you don't know about
particular-
young money and cash money.
No, clearly not.
No.
And then it's this bit in particular, John. I don't know if you noticed this, but this is just gibberish.
Yeah, we push sometime a man forget cough, beat him in the head, boopity boff, zippity boof, beat him in the head again, stop killing me, wolf, whop, beat him till he drop, piggedy poof.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what that is, what that means, but I particularly like. Oh no, wait.
Piggedy poof.
Piggedy Poof.
Piggedy
It's like a
Poof,
new
Piggedy Poof.
Pokemon.
Sort of
Piggedy
looks-
Poof. I think he describes 3 Pokemon in this little section.
Boopity bop, zippity boof,
And
piggity poof.
I can tell you now that is 2 Pokemon
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Yeah,
I think they're the evolutions of Jigglypuff, aren't
they
they?
are.
Yeah.
It goes Jigglypuff, Igglypuff, and then
And
Piggedy Poof.
Piggity poof.
Piggedy, even isn't that just a sort of hybrid of Biggie Smalls? Rest in peace. And yeah,
So my
Jigglypuff.
home is out there, boys.
Peace be upon him.
Cuts deep.
Yeah.
Cuts deep, Louise.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just a bizarre song. The rest of it's actually quite thing. I don't know. He's
It's
sort of
annoyingly catchy, and I really like.
definitely couldn't do it live, especially as everyone would start laughing as soon as he said.
Piggity poof.
Now it's time.
Hang on.
Oh no, wait.
Wait.
Louise.
What am I doing now?
You're plugging something on you, Louise.
I am.
Something
But
really
what am I plugging?
You're plugging headphones. in that,
I am.
Louise.
Yeah. You could win a pair of Beats by Dre plus an iPod Touch, so you can listen to Burst Radio wherever you go. So to enter this competition, find Burst Radio on Facebook and answer the question. Well, you got to guess the correct answer. How many applicants did PwC? Applications. I don't know if that makes a difference. Did PwC receive from Bristol University students last year? And the winner will be announced on February the 28th. I was just trying to do some research now as to whether Busta Rhymes and Dr. Dre are friends, and they've done songs together. So I'm not doing anything
They
bad.
haven't shot at each other, so that surely means that they're.
Yeah, I don't even know. Is Busta Rhymes West Coast? Yeah, no.
Don't know.
Dre.
I don't know what the heck
I think
either
he's
of you are on
from
about.
Piggity poof.
Ohio.
I'm not really going to go into the history of rap, which I know very little about, but basically East Coast and West Coast don't get on at all.
Is that why people go
No.
West Coast?
Yeah, that's why there's like Compton, and then there's this like New York, and then there's some other bits, but like Eminem.
I think that's a bit 90s, isn't it? They're all right now, aren't they?
Ah,
All right, to be honest,
I
I
don't
don't
really
know
know.
why I'm talking about this.
No, but-
I'm not coming from mid Warwickshire. I'm not exactly an expert.
And I know absolutely nothing. So
No, all that I do know is that
Piggity poof.
he's absolute genius rapping.
it is certainly my favourite bit of rapping ever.
Right, so what have we got next, John?
Well, I think it's that part of the show that everyone's been looking
special
forward to.
time.
Because if you're a man like us, you often have a lot of questions about the opposite sex, and we're sort of dispelling the myths and helping you be more of a man's man.
But we're going to shoot off for about 10 minutes, aren't we, John?
That's right. So we're gonna go out the room, and as Whitty says, our 80s counterparts are gonna come back and they're gonna answer some questions.
This is Burst Radio.
burstradio.org.uk.
So, thanks for that, present day John and Adam.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Whitty 2K.
Oh yeah.
It's time for Loose Boyfriends.
That's right. Hi there.
Welcome.
Welcome to the latest edition of Loose Boyfriends, the feature where you learn the hidden secrets about ladies that we love, that will make you have the perfect relationship with the beautiful and lovely, but sometimes tricky opposite sex.
We've been around the block a few times, picked up a couple of women, literally a couple, and we want to pass on our wisdom so that you guys out there can be as happy as we are today.
Now today's topic has been asked by Gareth, who says, "Dear Loose Boyfriends, I think of myself as an attractive man. I'm 6'7" and 8 stone, but the ladies just don't seem interested. How do I pull the lovely ladies I desire?"
Well, that's a tricky one. But we have a fail-safe 2-point plan that will get you with your partner before you can say boom, dog. John, I believe you're taking part 1. The chase.
That's right, Whitty, I am. So, I'm just going to cut to the chase here. Courting a woman. Many men have told me, "John, you're tremendously successful with the lady, despite only being 5'6". They ask, is it your dazzling looks, charming personality, cutting wit, seductive voice, philosophical brain, or just your disproportionate Goliath of a sausage? Well, the answer may shock you. It's none of these things. The truth is, women, well, they're just like snakes. That is to say that any Tom, Dick, or Sandra can charm a woman if they want. You just need to have the moves, the skill, and lots of practice. You think I've always been this much of a player? Think again. Let's start simple. Meeting women. I find the best place to meet a woman is in strip clubs. However, I'm fully aware most of our listeners won't be old enough or handsome enough to pull off going to one of those. So, for beginners, I'd recommend starting in a classy establishment such as your local Wetherspoons or Chippy. One of my friends assures me he once had a success with a lady at the fine restaurant Hunger Hatch after a night out, so I'll use this as an example. Now that you've gone to an area with women, i.e. not your bedroom, you need to move on to step 2, approaching a woman. Now I understand for many of you this may be difficult. It certainly was for me the first time I had to abort halfway through after I realised I'd soiled myself. It helps to be confident. Pout, breathe in a deep, sexy breath, and suck in any paunch you probably have. Make eye contact with her. Women love eye contact. Give her a look that can only mean one thing. I'm eligible and probably fertile, and I want you. If you're unfortunate enough to look like a serial killer, throw in a bit of, but I won't kill you, I promise, eyebrow action. Now, strut over, swinging your hips like Beyonce, because that's a major turn on, I'm assured. Do not blink. Women hate it when a man breaks eye contact or blinks. It's interpreted as a sign of weakness. So imagine you're staring down a bear. This is the take-home message here, really. Open with exactly this. I'm single. I don't live with my mum. Are you? Some men use chat-up lines, but I find they only confuse women, making them scared. And if you mess up the delivery, you end up looking like real special. This is the hard part over. From here on in, just from this she'll be putty in your hands. Conversation will flow as long as you remember to talk about the following. Yourself, lots. Your mum, how many kids you want and how soon. How you're looking for a wife. And most importantly, that time you punched a child for calling you fat. Do this regardless of if it's true or not, as it will show her you are a no-nonsense hard man who could stand up for her in a fight. And women love that. The rest? Well, that's up to you. And remember, talking to a woman is easy. It's like baking a cake. You know you screwed up if the conversation goes flat.
Thanks for that, John. I think that's simply golden stuff. Would you allow me to tell you how you can make your night even better?
Well, absolutely, Adam. I've laid the foundations, and now it's up to you to build the house. Give us part 2. Sealing the deal.
So, it seems the cat has consensually climbed into the bag. You have had a wonderful evening, and have charmed a lovely lady with your soft, pungent aroma. Taste and drinks, and witty, intelligent conversation. No pun intended, we must say.
I did wonder.
What is next is key. If the cork of a semi-expensive imitation champagne is not the only thing you want popping, you need to follow these foolproof tips. After you leave the drinking parlour or public house, offer to walk your lady home. That way, she'll be safe in the knowledge that you're a kind, strong man who would not want to see any harm done to her. On the way home, strike up a conversation about her music tastes or the internal decor and carpet stylings of her home. She will then know that you are interested in her, and she will want to show off her Persian rugs and Lawrence Llewellyn and Bones style wallpaper. When you arrive at her door, do your best puppy dog eyes, pout, and maybe cry a little bit. The ladies love desperation.
Oh yeah.
When you are asked in, go to the toilet and ask for a non-generic tea flavour, such as chamomile or red berry, before heading to the lavatory. In there, unclothe your upper level robes and hang it on the door to avoid creasing. Glide back down to the stairs to meet her. When you return to the living room, sip on your flavoured warm beverage and discuss recent political and economic topics, interspersed with music and cultural references. When the time is right, she will make it clear she is ready for coitus by saying the immortal lines, "Would you and your tea like to come upstairs?" Then, my friends, you are on to a winner.
Wow. I appear to be getting a little hot in here. And that's not just because we're next to a swimming pool.
Fail safe, my friend. Fail safe.
Well, that's all we've got time for, I'm afraid, gentlemen. As stipulated by a court order. But we'll be back next week with some more loose boyfriends.
Remember, if you have a lady problem and can think of no one else to solve it, tweet us, Beast Encyclopedia us, or write us an old-fashioned letter to some P.O. box somewhere.
Good night, Britain.
Good night, ladies. Louise, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I'm blown over. You're spot on. Like, I do love knockoff imitation champagne, especially if it's just white wine that someone's put in a soda stream. That's what gets me really.
Yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but how many times have those moves worked on you?
Oh, countless. I mean, in the last week alone, at least 15.
Well, there you go. I think that speaks for itself, really.
It does. I've seen Louise watch us put the moves on other ladies like this, and we've had to refuse her.
I know. It's been very
I
tough.
just can't do that to a friend, someone I
Just
see
can't
as a
do it.
sister.
I know.
I'd give you one tip
Yeah.
for the pursuit, the chase.
Yeah.
Just persistence.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Persistence is key. Don't back down.
That's right.
Keep the questions going.
And before you know it...
What's her mum's name? What's her first pet's name? Just all of that.
What would your wedding dress be like?
I think so.
Before you know it, you'll be
Piggedy Poof.
ing
With the woman of your
sweet,
dreams.
sweet lady.
Right, challenge for both of you.
Yeah.
You've got to work the word biggity poof into a conversation, but just don't really mention it.
Challenge accepted.
And I want to hear your stories next week about which conversation you worked it into and how they reacted.
I will. Piggedy Poof. Okay.
Piggedy Poof. Okay, right, well now it's time for John's song.
That's right. Now, I don't know actually what my song is this
Chrissy
week.
Camp song of the week.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You picked, so they picked
Well,
a song
John,
for
you've
me.
picked a song that
John,
we're all
John picked it.
embarrassed
I
by.
think-
You've made a fool out of yourself, to be honest. It's Alison Gold with Chinese food.
Is it? I love that song.
Is it because you love Chinese food?
Yeah, why not? Let's pretend I know this song as well. So.
Oh, I'm sure you
Oh,
do.
is this that one that's... I remember watching it once.
You know this,
I
you
mean,
picked
sorry,
it.
I remember watching it every morning. It's the racist one, isn't it?
Yeah. Alison Gold on Cry Out 3. Chinese food. John, you've embarrassed yourself.
I don't think I'm embarrassing myself when I'm putting on music like that. It's absolutely true that I love Chinese food. And you know what I think the best part of that song is probably... I don't know if you heard it. It's quite easy to miss. But the line, I love Chinese food, you know that it's true. Because... I think there's some truth in there. There's definitely some truth in that, and I connect with it. I'm sure most listeners probably have some form of connection with that.
Deep.
It's pretty deep. It's deep, man.
Our Twitter experiment is going...
Swimmingly.
Whitty, tell us how many retweets have we got?
We've got 0 retweets.
How many favourites?
We've got 0 favourites.
And how many replies?
0 replies.
Yes!
A couple of people directly.
Who says people don't follow that Twitter feed and listen to our radio?
Did you tweet
show?
Vanessa Feltz though?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh,
No,
we're
right, get on it.
going to get on it.
What else is she going to be doing right
I'm
now?
going to do that while it is time for...
It's time for my story time.
the new...
Hang on. Yeah.
Turning the mundane into the dramatic. John's story time.
So yeah, here we go. Get ready. That morning started like any other, doesn't Swindon? I awoke dreary from a night of heavy thinking and tormented sleep, and I forced myself out of bed. By this point, my morning routine living in Swindon's finest slum was beginning to sink in. I'd become accustomed to the early starts, sinking down my thick black coffee with breakfast, showering, and having to make a sustained effort just to avoid punching my flatmate in the face with the force of the pneumatic drill. Now Matt, he's a good kid, dresses well, eats real healthy, the kind of guy who buys food even Jamie Oliver ain't heard of. But most of what he does, I don't know, makes me physically pain. Frankly, I spend most of my day fantasizing about what else I could be doing with my time. But yeah, sound guy. Anyway, in this line of work, you never know what you're gonna get. As my grandfather told me when I was a little boy, life's like a box of life is like a box of assorted munitions waiting to explode in your face, horribly maiming you until you die. And if you're lucky, Johnny, that'll be sooner rather than later. Wise words. It's something I hold dear to this day. I looked at my timetable. I was going to be dealing with births all morning. Now, to cut a short story long, I was in theaters for about 25 minutes when the consultant's all like, "Get out of here, kid. Ain't nothing gonna happen for a while. Go get a coffee. Call your missus or whatever. I'll come get you when something happens." Nah, I'm not one for slacking off when people can see me doing it. It's the sort of thing I save for my private time, if you know what I mean. But this time I was like, whatever, man. Baby's been delivered and all. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, yeah? See you later, brah. Consultant was all. That cool, bro. Anyway, next thing I know, I'm sitting in some content, staff room reading The God Delusion. It's a good book, passes the time, broadens the mind or whatever, I don't care. Some crazy broad comes up to me, says something like, "You here for the meeting?" I was like, "Eh?" She was like, "It's okay, you can stay here." I don't know, I wasn't really listening, but it sounded like her and a few mates were gonna have a chat or something in this room, you know, real chilled, whatever she was on about. I stood my ground, I mean, what else was there to do? Unfortunately, it would quickly become obvious I'd made a grave error of judgment. Nurse after nurse descended on my room like an alcoholic to a park bench. Before I knew it, there was no escape. My heart sank. What had I? How had I? I'd just spent 8 weeks on the previous unit having to sit through this type of inane meeting. I thought I'd retired from that game for good. I searched for an exit, but there was none. I was trapped in a handover meeting, the worst kind of meeting. Nowhere to go, no way out. I just sat there, starting to hemorrhage with self-pity on the inside, willing myself to die. And things got even worse. Turned out the reason my anaesthetist hadn't come to get me because things had taken a life-threatening turn for the worse. Now it's okay, patient was fine in the end. It was a very happy moment, but it was the kind of thing you don't want to miss as a student. But that was going on in the other room, and I wasn't here. You snooze, you lose in this game, and I'd metaphorically passed out with a bottle of gin. The meeting lasted an eternity, filling me with deep loathing for all those in the room, and myself. But by the time I got out, this woman was still being treated, so I got to see some of what was going on, helped out and all. But the moral of the story here, kids, is listen to your elders. I hadn't, and I regretted it. Also, don't smack your flatmate. That kind of looks balls really bad and caught. The end. Deal with it.
Deep.
Yeah.
Pretty deep.
Hard-hitting stuff.
Well, I'm obviously exaggerating. I mean, for example, A, I don't really want to hit my flatmate, and B, the
Disclaimer.
consultant didn't really say that cool, bro. But it was words to those effects, so, you know,
I thought that was great, John.
pretty accurate.
I did very enjoy that.
John, I was
I
going
also-
to ask you a medic question as well.
Well, you know.
Yeah, because I have seen that the new series of One Born Every Minute is filmed at
It's been for
Southmead.
Yeah.
Will there be anyone we know, like just their little head sticking around the corner,
Possibly, very
passing
possibly.
out at the sight of a woman's
Probably.
vagina?
I don't know. I wasn't placed there. But there will be a few people who probably... will.
That's exciting.
It's quite cool.
It is pretty
They'll
cool.
probably latch onto medical students and love it, I'd imagine. I've got another good story from this week, actually. Turns out the GP that I was with for my GP placement for a month, one of the young ones, only a few years older than me, was training there, was working in the hospital. So I'm in like scrubs and a theatre cap, which obviously makes you look a bit different. And I just saw her walking towards me in the corridor. So I said, hello.
That's
And
the most
she just
British
looked
thing I've
at
ever
me.
heard.
Well, it was more like hello, but she looked at me like with a smile and a face that said, "You're a rapist." And so she clearly didn't recognise me, and it was really, really awkward. So I just must have looked like I was really coming on to her in the obstetrics department. So there's no better place to pull a woman, as we know.
As my dad can tell you.
Yeah, is that how your parents met?
Yep.
That's lovely.
I was in
isn't it?
gynae. My
That's
mum was a
lovely.
midwife, dad's a doctor.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven. They really, really, really hate that phrase. So
Oh, do
this
they?
goes out to you, mum and dad, and
That's
the
deep. That's deep.
yeah, and all those babies born back in, I guess it was '89.
I'm
in,
shocked, John,
Penrith.
because I didn't realise that anyone was able to pull women without the help of us.
I'm equally confused, frankly. Me
too.
I mean, I've never done it with anyone else's help.
I mean, I know we weren't born, but you would have thought...
Yeah,
You thought they could have consulted
How
us.
did
Yeah.
people know how to procreate before you guys?
That's a
came into
question you can
existence?
ask your
How
parents.
did you come into existence without being able to advise your
I
parents?
don't know.
I think it was just luck, really.
Yeah,
maybe
I
some
reckon
form
maybe,
of...
yeah, they fell
Immaculate conception.
Our advice is so potent it actually transverses time. Traverses, whatever, anyway.
Hey, John, stop talking!
Transcends.
That's the words!
Sorry, we've been using that a lot recently. That's another one of my
Stop talking!
pet hates.
Time for this.
Right.
Yay!
So wait, what's Chris of the week?
And this week I'm the host. It's
You are?
exciting.
How long did it take you, John?
Absolutely ages. I've literally spent about 6 hours doing radio stuff this week and none doing work for work. So that's worked out really well.
Well, that's really
John Swartwood, future doctor, coming soon to a hospital near you.
On the plus side, I'm quite competent. So
It's fine. I don't even need to work.
I love
there.
anaesthetics, so it just goes in. But that's cool.
It's Whitty versus Sellers with host John Smallwood on the Weight Watchers Quiz of the Week.
Piggedy Poof.
So who wants to go first?
Piggedy Poof wants to go. Can that be my name?
Piggedy Poof?
Piggedy Poof.
Piggedy Poof wants to go first.
Okay,
Is Diggity Woof okay with that?
Yeah, Diggity Woof is
Diggity
okay
Woof's
with
okay with that. Piggedy Poof. So Piggedy Poof, question 1.
Piggedy Poof.
Christopher William Lord has been jailed for 12 months this week, 3 years after being a little too mean to his friend. But what atrocity did this man commit? Did he A. persuade a tattoo artist to draw a 40cm penis and vulgar caption on his mate's back instead of the intended tattoo? B. Jokingly spike his friend's drink with a substantial amount of ketamine at said friend's own wedding, ultimately resulting in a honeymoon in the intensive care unit? Or C. Kidnap his friend as revenge for a similar prank at uni, but ultimately take it too far by failing to tell his relatives and keeping him locked in the cellar for 3 days before revealing his plan, resulting in police involvement?
This is tricky. I'm gonna go. Was it A?
The tattoo?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah!
Mr. Lord had already gone to great lengths to persuade his, I'm quoting the article, significantly disabled friend to get a tattoo when the incident occurred. Originally, his friend had decided on a not quite as tacky as a 40cm penis, yin and yang symbol, complete with tiger and dragon, because those two go together like horse and blowjob after all. However, with a little bit of behind-the-scenes egging, the tattoo artist also thought it would be hilarious to draw a massive dong instead, along with an unspecified but assuredly vulgar message. So if you're wondering what happened to the laddish tattoo artist directly responsible for the fantastic phallus, well, he was jailed straight away. And that was
I like that phrase, fantastic phallus.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like a Roald Dahl book.
So anyway, he was jailed straight away, and that's all in Australia. So 2, diggity do, or whatever, dog, diggity dog.
Shall I go? I'll go first.
Boopity bop, zippity boof.
There we go,
Zippity
that's
boof.
you. So bibbity fiddy bab diggity boof. 2, New Zealand Prime Minister John Key this week fell victim to the strangest of freedom of information requests. But which of the following is responsible for his public statement? A. A request for any evidence to disprove the theory that Mr. John Key is in fact a David Icke shape-shifting reptilian alien ushering humanity towards enslavement. B. A poorly worded, I've heard from a reliable source that Mr. Key was in fact born a woman and therefore wish him to prove that he is and has always been a man. Or C. Proof that he wasn't a drug dealer at university.
C.
Proof that he wasn't a drug dealer at university. Well, no, I'm afraid the answer is A. And in fact, C I came up with on the spot because I actually forgot to do a third question. So I'm glad that went down, right? So anyway, the answer is, indeed, Prime Minister Key had to address the sensitive issue of him being a shape-shifted alien by calling a press conference to set the record straight. He was quoted, I've taken the unusual step of not only seeing a doctor but a vet, and both have confirmed I'm not a reptile. I've never been in a spaceship, never been out in space, and my tongue's not overly long either. So further proof that Australia is just generally a much more interesting country than the UK. Right, so 3. Louise, you're up 1 point.
You say it's from New Zealand.
Did I say New Zealand?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's offensive.
Right,
They're
1 point off
they're not
a
the
future
same.
quiz for
They're
you.
not the same country, aren't they? That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail. Anyway, 3. A couple
Piggedy
of...
Poof.
Piggedy Poof.
Yeah.
A couple from Bradford, known only as Wendy and Ryan, this week had their wedding celebrations ruined by some insensitive behaviour. But what was it that brought the festivities to a premature end? A. The inebriated best man revealed he'd slept with the bride during the first year of the wedding couple's relationship, even going so far as to say she had great tits, but didn't have time to explain he was joking before being spectacularly KO'd by the furious groom. B. 3 of the wedding guests became overly attached to the only remaining pork pie, and after peaceful negotiations broke down, harsh words were exchanged, followed by an old-fashioned punch-up. When everyone failed to see reason, a police dog unit was called to end the mini-riot. Or C. The significantly disabled groom with a 40cm penis tattooed on his back had his drink spiked with ketamine by his best friend and ended up spending the first few days of his honeymoon in intensive care.
Can I just confirm, where did you say this happened? Did you say where it happened?
Bradford. Couple from Bradford.
Whereabouts is Bradford?
I don't know.
I feel like the
Yorkshire.
context would help me.
Bradford.
Okay,
Yorkshire.
I'm going to say they're arguing over the pork pies then.
That is correct.
Yeah!
So that's 2 points to you.
Northerners
Yes.
love pies.
What started as a peaceful wedding celebration ended in bedlam after 3 insensitive guests decided to go all North Korea over the only remaining pork pie. As if that wasn't mental enough, the dog unit was called, who later tweeted with the hashtags #clubclosed, #day ruined. Well, quite. 4. Whitty. Or...
Boopity bop, zippity boof.
Thank you. 47-year-old Californian Victor Janiscu was arrested this week, but what silly thing did he do to end up behind bars? A. Filing several false reports in one evening stating that a nearby house was on fire, there were intruders in his home, that he was holding 2 women hostage, and that a man had been shot. B. Having a marijuana garden growing inside his home. Or C. Both.
Both.
Yes, it's both. Victor indeed filed all those reports, causing the police to respond to each of his calls, or in one case, a neighbour's call on his behalf. On the last call, the police searched his house and uncovered a marijuana garden. He was arrested for cultivating marijuana and filing false reports. Perhaps unsurprisingly, it's believed he was under the influence of marijuana and alcohol for most of the evening. Right, so that's 1 point to you, 2 points to Louise. So, Piggedy
To
Poof.
who? Yeah.
Piggedy Poof.
Robert McKevick, 27, from Iowa, sadly lost his job for irresponsibly using company property this week. But what did Rob do? What was it that Rob did? A. Photocopying 200 pictures of naked women and pasting them around his boss's room while he was on holiday. B. Being arrested for drag racing his 17-year-old stepbrother in his company car. Or C. Using a forklift to get a chocolate bar out of a vending machine.
C?
You've done it again, Louise.
I knew that one.
I don't know how she's doing it.
I knew that one as
You'll
well.
know the next one.
Okay.
I guarantee you'll know the next one.
What's the score at the moment?
Anyway.
It's 3-1 to Piggedy Poof.
Now, yes, Rob used a 3.6-ton metric, by the way, forklift to shake and then repeatedly drop 6 times the vending machine after it failed to release his chocolate bar. He commented, "They fired me, and now I hear they have new vending machines there. Probably because you dropped the old one 6 times, Rob, but at least he got 3 chocolate bars out of it for the price of 1 in the end." Right, 6. The BBC reported this week that several odd things have been identified to be blocking the sewers of this fine country. But what exactly was mentioned as a culprit? A. Don't look.
Sorry.
A dead crocodile. B. A Winnie the Pooh toy. Or C. A corpse.
Winnie the Pooh. No, wait. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh.
Correct. Yes, this is the news that a Winnie the Pooh soft toy is one of the many items responsible for clogging up our sewers. The BBC ran with the amazing headline, "Giant Pooh blocks sewers." But really, it was one of many items. So there we go. So it's 2 points. What?
We're going to have to play the song.
Why are we going to play the song? Okay, just the stinker or not?
No.
Fine.
No stinker.
I had a dream that Laura had a penis. That was going to be the answer. It was a nightmare. Anyway, there we go. Song.
Okay, well that was the Big Bang Quiz.
And the
no,
winner-
it wasn't. It was the Weight Watchers Quiz of the week.
And the winner was...
Addington.
You were the winner, weren't you?
No, but who? Who was the winner?
Who was the winner?
Piggedy Poof. Piggedy Poof. Piggedy Poof.
That was the winner.
Yeah.
There we go.
Piggedy Poof strikes back.
Now, it's time for Best of Colson Hall, which is Bellowhead. I don't know if you've heard of Bellowhead before.
My dad's a big fan.
Yeah, they were really good live, like a folky sort of jazzy band.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be goodbye from us
Is it?
after this song.
Oh, no.
Well, it's been a pleasure. We've been poor this week, but we'll try and be better next week.
No, we haven't.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
try and be better though. Lots of love from Adam, John,
And Louise.
And Louise. See you
and
next week.
Piggedy Poof as well.
Oh, and Piggedy Poof.
I want a
Goodbye.
nickname. Bye.
Poof.
Oh no.
Well, now we get to start the song again. So we really will be better next week.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Bye.
This is Fast News.